Well, thanks for visiting us here at KTALnews.com. I'm meteorologist Josh Marces with your Tuesday weather update. Story this morning, some just bitter cold temperatures after a few warm weeks here. We're down into the mid-20s. This morning will be a little bit of a shock as you open up the door, but we did turn off the wind today. We know nobody liked those breezy conditions yesterday, so we'll have calm winds for the most part today. So eventually it will turn into a nice day, but you will need a jacket this morning for sure if you're out there before noon, as we'll stay in the 30s, 40s after we warm out of the 20s this morning, and then we'll top out mid to upper 50s. High temperature today, probably around 5 p.m. or so, may come in just shy of 60 degrees or so, but the breeze is much lighter for us today. So you can see all that just cold Canadian air spilling south across the country here. We are going to see that cold air begin to shift to the east today. We're still on the cold side of this area of high pressure, so what will happen today, the winds will initially be out of the north, and that's keeping the cool and dry air in place. So we see a few clouds out there, so we'll see it mostly sunny this morning, partly cloudy this afternoon, but definitely no rain. And then by tomorrow, as that area of high pressure moves over towards Mississippi and Alabama, we'll get the south wind on the backside of that high, and that's what will start the warming trend for us back into the 70s likely tomorrow, after topping out in the upper 50s a little later today. So the wind's much lighter, will be below 10 miles per hour today, so the wind no concern for us, and our high temperatures may squeeze out a few 60s there across East Texas, and everybody will be much warmer tomorrow. In fact, tonight will be a cold night, but everybody will be above freezing. So I think, in fact, this freeze that we're seeing this morning in the mid-20s, probably the last freeze we'll see of the season with that warm weather taking over for the rest of the month. We get into April, it's less likely. We're actually past the date of our average last freeze, which is usually first or second week of March. So I think we're done with the freezing temperatures. Hopefully that freeze this morning will put some of the bugs to sleep, and we'll get to enjoy that. But it's been, again, just a pretty chilly pattern here for the last day or two, but that warm weather is returning for us. This is going to be the outlook March 22nd through March 26th. So this is kind of looking a little later into the weekend, and most of next week we'll expect those warm temperatures to be with us, and we'll feel that warming trend kick in the next few days. The reason it will be so warm here in the southwest, you can see this very massive ridge of high pressure. What that will do for the Arklatex is a couple of things. You can see the jet stream is going to stay well to the north of us, and that's what carries the storms across the country. So that's why for the rest of March, we're really not going to see much rain here, as this area of high pressure is going to be pretty strong. And you can see that does expand through the back half of the week here, and we'll be on just the fringes of that, so we won't be centered directly under this thing, but it will be close enough to us that we'll see some pretty warm weather here Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if we did see our first 90-degree day of the year at some point during that stretch. But our temperatures here maybe pushing some records at the end of the week, upper 80s and potentially low 90s. No rain, that's going to be the issue here as we go through the next few weeks. So we still have quite a few burn bands across East Texas. So I think as we go through this week, even though we've had some decent rain recently, we may see some of those burn bands pop back up over the next week or so. The other flip side of this, we've had so much severe weather over the last week. We are not going to see any of the storms here for the next 2 weeks, so the severe weather pattern will quiet down, but expect we'll be upper 80s by the weekend. That will be the hottest it gets in the next few weeks. I would expect next week's highs will likely be in the upper 70s and low 80s, and I think difficult to find any rain next week as well.